Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast. My name is Kay Cote, and I'm your host for today's episode. And today on the show, I have Beth Puorro, owner of Miscellaneous Rentals, as my guest. We're going to be learning about her business, her journey to business ownership, best practices, and challenges that she's faced to give you that inside look to what it's like to build and operate a business. Welcome, Beth. It's so great to meet you. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thank you very much for inviting me.
Of course. Well, before we dive into all things business, I'd love to share a little bit about you. So feel free to give a couple nuggets about yourself.
Okay. You want me to just give a little nugget right now?
Yeah, yeah, take
Okay.
it away.
Um, yeah, a couple nuggets about myself. Well, I started this company in 95, which I'm sure seems crazy because of my youthful look. But 95, Austin, Texas. And that's 30 years. This year we had our 30-year anniversary party. I rent film equipment and mostly it's called production supplies, which is part of the film world. It's like actually not quite the cameras and the lighting, but the other stuff. So the tables and chairs and the cooling and things like that. That's how I started it. And then I realized that I was also doing a lot of events. My friends were calling me up and being like, hey, we need this for my garage sale. We need this for that. And so I kind of started doing it in events. So did you want nuggets about myself or did you want nuggets about the company?
Well, I love learning about the company, but if you have a couple fun, awesome nuggets about you as a person, you're welcome to share those too.
Really? Oh, well, I've got lots of fun nuggets. I used to play in a band. I don't anymore. I used to play in a band. I played in a few bands. But now I just play at home. But that was fun. Back in the 90s, I played in a band called Echo Set and Boy Plus Kite. And
Oh,
so,
yo, that's
yeah,
cool.
so I've made some albums. So, but we all got to do things on the side, right? So,
Yes, that is cool. Well, we should talk about that later because I'm also in the music scene.
you
So
are?
I am.
What do you do? Come on, let's go there.
I have a little music company here in Austin, Texas, but yeah, we can chat about that later. And
Okay. You're like, this
yeah,
is
because
a
that would be a
business
whole nother
podcast.
show.
Okay, music is a business, that's for sure. Um, well, I have 15 employees. And a nugget about Miscellaneous that's kind of cool being in Austin is we're in Mueller. And when I first moved to Austin, the Mueller airport, there was just one little airport in Austin. And now there's, Austin Bergstrom. But the company is actually out of one of the hangars. So we're in the hangar one at the Austin Film Society here that used to be an old airport hangar for the private planes, not the big ones. But so we're right next to the HEB on Mueller Street. So
Oh, that is super
51st
cool.
Street, not Mueller Street, Mueller area. Forgive me.
No, that's really cool because like it's fun to kind of see the history, a little bit of the history of Austin, kind of like
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's public land. The city owns this land, and then the
Mhm.
Austin Film Commission got the Austin Film Society here. And so the businesses that got started here have to be film related. They wouldn't. So I think I was one of the first one or two, no, number one or number two businesses that landed here at the Austin Film Society back then. And then have grown from there. And they've been really great. The Austin Film Society has been the best landlords, and they're just the film community in Austin is awesome. So,
That's incredible.
and
Okay.
that's where my roots are from. So
Are you from Austin?
I'm from Connecticut.
Really?
I'm an
I'm from
East
North
Coaster.
Dakota.
You are, but you live in Austin?
I do. It's just way too cold there. I had to come
Yeah,
south.
it's a cold place. Connecticut's pretty cold too. Um, I do miss the seasons, but I also love, Austin.
Totally, totally. Well, you said a couple things that already off the bat have me intrigued to share with our audience. You mentioned you have 15 employees now. So I'd love to learn about your team. What are some of the roles that your team has? And what's your company culture like?
Oh, well, I would say I don't know. I think our company culture, and well, I know this, is we're very well, customer service based. The rental industry, and I'm not going to knock anyone, but it sometimes can get a little frustrating. And so I really feel like we have a really fun, artistic kind of culture here, where customers first, and we do our job, we do it well, but we also enjoy our time here and make people feel like they're having a very like they're with a friend-ish kind of a little bit, there's only so much we're not stuffy. Let's just say that. Let me just say we're not stuffy. But we're also not so loose that, you're like, well, are we gonna, that you could take us seriously, I guess. So we've got a good team of individuals. My general manager has been with me since the day I first hired a first person. She was I used to work in film, and she was my boss. She was a producer in the film industry. And I was at the point where I had, like, when you just start a business and you're doing everything yourself and you're wearing all the hats. And I called her because I was like, I need some filing, I need some organization. I hired Pam to come in and work for me for a week. It has been 18 years. So she stuck around and we grew. And she is now in the general manager role. So I have long-term people. I have a general manager, I have an office manager, I have an operations manager, I have a shop manager, I have linens and catering, and then I have warehouse workers and office staff. And if you want to get a little cue of our culture, we call ourselves, since our name is Miscellaneous, we call ourselves the Misfits,
Oh,
which is
I love
also
that.
a music reference.
Yeah. Oh, I think I'd fit right into the
The
misfit,
Misfits.
honestly.
Yeah, we're like, yeah. So I think keeping it fun, keeping it professional but fun.
I think that's huge,
Uh,
especially with a creative community that you.
a lot of artists, I come from the film background and do acting on the side, and we've got musicians and podcasters and all types of different people here. But so yeah, it's nice to have an artistic team.
That's incredible. Well, thanks for sharing about your team. Now, looking at your kind of like your ownership structure, are you the current sole owner of the company, or is there any other partners involved?
It's just me.
Yeah,
You hear that? Just
that,
me.
that's
So
awesome.
nice.
That's powerful. I love that. And so, kind of looking at your journey so far, we love to share about challenges and like
Yeah.
the true grit of business owners. So, what is something you were faced with? It could be at any part of your journey so far.
I mean, I'm sure you get this all the time, but COVID was really rough,
Yeah.
you know? And so for a rental company that's had, 13 to 15 employees, and then all of a sudden nobody's having parties, nobody's doing anything. So we had to go low, real, just bare bones. And we made it. We made it through. So that was a really rough time. I want to think of another time though, because I'm sure that one's being used, I think you get to a certain level in your business where you're like, how can I go from, I don't know if like if you ever you played an instrument, right? You learn and you see the progress and you get to the point where you're just, I've gotten here and I got here really fast, and then you kind of plateau, right?
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
there and you're like, okay, what's going to make me go to the next step? And I think going from a certain profit to the next profit level has always been a good challenge. And if you can break through and then grow and make changes and do stuff like that. So going from a certain level to a certain level there, and then COVID, those things. But I've been pretty lucky. Though we did have a flood the other day, when you remember the hail,
Oh,
Austin?
was it like last weekend?
It feels like last weekend, but it was like a month ago.
Oh, the early July.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
right up here, there was those weird hailstorms. Yeah, the my whole bottom level flooded,
oh
but
shoot.
we were fine. We we all got in here. We lost a few things, but nothing terrible. So, but that was
Oh my
crazy.
goodness. Wow, that's wild. I'm glad that you pulled through. I mean, that's like a current crazy challenge that you faced. And yeah, kind of switching gears a little bit, shifting into how you're putting yourself out there as a company. I'd love to talk about that. So, looking at your marketing and how you're putting yourself out there, how are you reaching your clients and potential clients?
Well, we just, I'm always with marketing, I'm always trying different things. I do feel like for film, we kind of have a good word of mouth because we've been here for so long. But I do think as becoming an events company, we definitely have to hit the marketing hard on that. Um, we have Instagram, which if you want to check out at misc.rentals, I think that's I should know that I should know this stuff before I start saying it on podcast. But yeah, we have a whole little Instagram situation going. We are doing some SEO work now. Um, in the back of our website that we're going to launch. We're going to do some Google Ads has always been great for us if we do it the right way. And then having to rework um, that. We do some print ads in Austin Monthly.
Yeah.
They're also a partner with us. And so I do a lot of trade sometimes with some companies that do that stuff. But I think the most is like website SEO, Google Ads, Instagram, boots on the ground, getting out to so those four pillars, I would say, right there.
Those are good. Those are solid, especially because you have like those two kind of facets of the business that you're working on with the
Yeah.
side of thing and then like the event side of things. So that's super
Yeah.
cool. And
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, who who would you say your like ideal client is? Like who are you targeting? You know, you mentioned there's the film side of things, film companies, and then your events. Who's kind of your market there?
I would say event coordinators,
Okay.
event venues, anyone that's in a company, corporate events, or planning a party or event of any kind. So like we have everything from like pipe and drape and um, you know, televisions and AV equipment, right? For your
Mm.
corporate stuff, your podiums and things like that. To uh like we work with like Fair Market and Distribution Hall where you're, in lots of different markets, front market. So people like that who are putting on big events that need a lot of different things for that event and they want to go to one place.
Mm.
So yeah, that's probably our ideal client. Though we want to help everybody, but yeah, event coordinators and event planners and if you're doing something and making something different and you don't have the things, we have the stuff.
Amazing. That's good to
Yeah.
know. That's good to know. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, a lot of people would say, "Oh, well, you must do a lot of weddings." And yes, I love the event planners, the wedding planners. There's some really great companies out here that do that really well, and we can also do that, but we can, it's not just that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Very cool. Well, looking at kind of the growth trajectory, where do you see the company going in, say, the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, I feel like we are expanding. Um, I mean, if you want metrics, I can give you that. But right now, like with 15 employees, we just garnered more space in the warehouse here. We're hoping to get, I don't know if anybody want the whole space, really. I want the whole, right now we have a 10,000 square foot warehouse. I'd love to get 20,000. We have trucks. We rent trucks out to films. So I'm growing that fleet, getting more like lounge furniture stuff
Mhm.
to make like up your event or yeah, just growing. I would say if I'm going to be honest, I would say like 50% growth maybe.
Okay. And that's like expanding. You want to bring on more employees as well, we thinking?
Exactly. More employees, more space, doing it better, getting systems in place. Um, yeah, just to keep growing and streamlining the process. We started to get really good at that. And the more that we do that, the more that we can just like be like, oh, now we can help this person. So we grow. So we, so it's kind of like once you know what you're doing and you're not caught up in the muck of it, you could start to add. So that's what we're doing. We don't want to go so big that we can't do the project correctly,
Mm-hmm.
but we want to start. Yeah. And we are on that trajectory. We're growing. So
That's incredible. You mentioned systems. So I'd love to get kind of like kind of dive into what kind of systems you're looking to put into place to help grow your business.
well, I mean, my company specifically uses a program called Entrepreneur EOS. Have you heard of it? The EOS Entrepreneur.
Oh, I might, but yeah, feel free to kind of dive into that.
Here's a plug for them. This is their it's a leadership team thing. So it's basically like how we run the EOS is a program that we meet with how we run the business, like a software for the people. So
Mm,
how we run it. So like the way the leaders are. So if it goes from the visionary to the integrator, it goes down, and then it's really about accountability. It's about communications. It's about meeting with your team every week and not having making sure that the hour meeting that you have that's an hour of like good solid movement, so you're moving the needle, you're making 90-day goals, you're doing all the things that you read about in the books, Good to Great, all the thing, that kind of stuff. Um so we are on a system like that. I love it. It keeps us going. It's helped my business so much. And we've all got our little projects and we're not all working on the same. So, if somebody's working on something, somebody else is working on something at the same time, it can get a little, but if you all are accountable and you have your own things that you're going for, and then you come together and you meet and you talk about it, and then you go do your thing and you come back together and you meet and you talk about it, you actually see the needle move. So,
oh, that's cool.
yeah.
That's really cool. That's like kind of the accountability is huge and the like helping with the growth of everything that you're going through.
Yeah. I mean, before we started with a company, our meetings weren't that productive. I feel like, it's like, what are our action items? What are the issues? Let's solve these issues and then let's move on to the next stuff and stuff like that. So we could get a little bit off track, and so it really does. I would say it focuses us. And I think with focus is how you can, kick the can down the road.
Very true. Very true. Well, kind of, looking at our next fun part of the Q&As, we're going to dive into our rapid fire Q&A, which is
Oh,
I ask you 4 questions and you answer very top of mind.
okay.
All right. Question number 1 is, what is a key to success for you?
Commitment, consistency, showing up,
Mhm.
and kindness.
Kindness is a huge one. I love that.
Yeah, kindness. I feel like you have to like, we're all people, right? Bumping around in this world. So I got to be good to everybody.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
And number 2 is, what is a piece of advice you have for other business owners?
Um, I would say, if it's your passion and your love and and you're seeing it's not, just stick with it because it's not overnight. And a lot of people, I think, want quick fix. And so
Mhm.
I think if you're seeing some progress, you keep learning that you got to give it a little bit of time. At least these are for the beginners, the ones that are starting, that are learning and are like, ugh, I'm not making $1 million in a week. You know, it's a lot of work.
I feel you.
Eventually it pays off. So, mhm. And get a good team. That's another thing. You got to have the right people on the bus. You've got to have the right people in the right seats, and you got to be okay with finding them a different place in the company or something like that, and not just, so that's important. Get the right team.
Awesome. Well, that's great advice. Number 3 is, what is a book? It could be a book, a podcast, or an article, just something that you've taken in recently.
Okay, well, I'm an actor as well, and I listen to this podcast called Creating Behavior. And it's a podcast out of New York. It's from one of my teachers there. And this is a recent one. Um, you can always do Mel Robbins and all those, but this guy, he taught me about grit,
Mm,
not giving up.
mhm.
And it talks about acting, but you can use it in anything. His name is Charlie Sandlin, and he's a great acting teacher that I studied with for 3 years. And so I listened to his podcast and I listened to it recently, and it always gets me my juices flowing, whether it's business, because he's on a podcast running a business. And so it's, grit, not giving up.
Definitely. That I wrote that one down. I'm gonna check that out for sure. I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're a musician or any artist, any artist, any business owner, I think it's a good one.
Definitely. I'll share that with my artists too. I work with quite a few, and so, yeah, they need that. They need that push too.
He's hardcore. So, but I like that. I like it. It's like, you know what? Sometimes you need a little fire. You need a
Oh,
little
I
fire.
hate it. I definitely need, like, the little swift kick sometimes.
A little swift kick.
All right, so our final question in the rapid fire is, if you could wave a magic wand and
Uh-huh.
rapidly improve one aspect of your business, what would it be?
Ooh, cash flow.
That's honest too.
Yeah, boom. Nut cash flow. I mean, I'm working on that all the time, but like, yeah, cash flow is pretty good, but like, yeah, you got to have good cash flow. And so, um, what else? Rapidly improve my equipment. I'd get all new equipment, you know. I'm
I
sorry,
love
two
that.
or three. You're like one, and I gave you about six.
No, you're good. You're good. These are fabulous. Well, thank you for sharing all these
Mhm.
rapid fire questions. And before we get to our final question for today's episode, how can people connect with you and your business online?
Oh, miscellaneous. Okay, so you can go to our Instagram, which is Miss Rentals, MASC Rentals. You can go to our website, which is mismascaustin.com or miscellaneousaustin.com. You can call us at 512-524-1153. That sounded so 70s. We haven't done that in a while, right? You can
I
email
like the
us.
little ring at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, when is it, like, call me at this number? I just gave my phone number out. But yeah, we're here. The thing I do love about us is we've got people downstairs answering the phone. So you're not just talking, you're not just on a void. You can email us and we'll deal it that way through the website, or you can call and we'll pick up the phone and talk to you and be happy to. So there's that. So yeah, those are the ways.
Awesome, Beth. Well, thank you for sharing how to connect with you. Now for our final question of the day.
No, no.
It's a big one.
Nervous. You're making me nervous.
It's a very fun one. What is most inspiring to you today?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, I just think that the, I mean, the community in Austin, um, like the fact that y'all just reached out, and I don't know you, you just reached out and you're like, hey, we're trying to help people, with business. I mean, I think that's great. I like that there's, I don't know, that's pretty inspiring that you're connecting business owners to business owners. And you didn't tell me to say that or anything. I felt that, like, this is really cool that what you're doing. So I like that. That's inspiring. And I think like that there's a lot of place for growth in this town, and in this community, and there's a lot of support. Um, yeah. So
Oh, well, thank you. That was inspiring to hear too. I'd love to hear that this is making a difference and giving opportunity as well. And it was such a fun conversation, Beth. I'm so excited that we connected and thanks for sharing your story today.
yeah, you bet. You bet. Thank you.